Well, to begin with, Jonathan, I have to ask you, this season, Anthony will show a lot more, we will know a lot more about Anthony, and I want to know if at some point did you feel that you were playing a different character?
I think with Anthony that his confusion as to where he fits and his need to try and fulfill the duties that has been handed down to him, bequeathed from his father, means that actually he is quite a few different characters. The one thing that I found out is that his true self is really you only see when he's on his own, and so there's a real sense of anxiety and loneliness to him that is great to explore. But yeah, I think that there was a lot that he needed to be held accountable for Series 1 in his actions, and I think going back into his past and to understand his sort of emotional makeup, it allows for people to hopefully see what I see in him, which is that he's a lost soul trying to do good.
Sacrificed everything for his family.
Yes.
This is the season the Viscount intends to find a wife.
You honestly just did that.
Well, also in this season, we will be introduced to this new family, the Sharmas, and I like a lot how the characters were introduced. And for example, your first scene, Simone is in this chase with Anthony riding a horse. And can you tell me more how was filming that scene? Because there's not only the challenge to be really skilled riding a horse, but also you have to do it while showing how powerful a spirit this Kate Sharma is.
Movie magic meant that we could shoot that scene actually in 3 different ways. One was on the green screen, and that was like the close-ups with us where we got to kind of convey the character's emotion. And for Kate, that was, catch me if you can. I can't say a rude word, I was gonna say a rude word. Catch me if you can, whatever. And then yeah, I remember we shot in Windsor Park.
Yeah.
And it was one of my favourite memories of filming when we were on our horses in Windsor Park. I think, if I remember, we shot early in the morning and just cantering my horse up the hill and turning around and taking down Kate's hood and kind of giving Anthony that kind of, gosh, if I could translate that look, it would be... haha.
Owning
it.
Well, it's just owning the
that's
moment.
right.
But also,
That's right.
the fact that they sort of the horse and the sort of primitivism of horse riding really sums up their relationship.
Yeah.
And actually, the first time we met, which is almost a year ago to the day, because your birthday's on the 30th.
Yeah,
so
we were horse riding together.
Yeah, that was the first time we met after the chemistry test, and I came down and you'd had your horse riding lesson.
Yeah.
And you looked just at ease with the horses then as you do now.
Aww.
And then we had a bottle of champagne and it was great.
Yeah, Lee Thompson was there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not even been a year.
It's not even a year, it's been wild, yeah.
But I love that scene. I think it's great.
That's a great scene, totally. Well, also in Bridgerton, families are very important in the story, in the Bridgerton universe, and even more in this season because there's not only a love story to tell, but also the story of these 2 sisters that have to face this big break, but also they are always there for each other. So Charithra, can you tell me more about how you work building this relationship, this sisterhood with Simone?
Yes, of course. I think, we knew that we wanted it to be really honest and like a very genuine relationship. And so we talk through our characters a lot, what they mean to each other, what their history is, not just when you meet them, just super important. I think we were also really lucky that kind of our chemistry was really natural. Mm-hmm. We had a supporting artist on set, one of the scenes, and he saw the 2 of us and our mum, Shelley Khan, who plays Mary Sharma, interacting, and he came up to Shelley and asked him, have you guys known each other for years? Oh. And I was like, that kind of sums it up. It was really easy. In many ways, it was really easy for us. I think our chemistry was quite natural.
Yeah, and I think we were both just equally as enthusiastic to just tell such a beautiful relationship between 2 sisters. I think my favourite scene is when Kate's putting coconut oil through Edwina's hair and they kind of hug it out at the end and, it's just a release of emotion and Kate makes Edwina laugh. Because, when you see someone you care about emotional and cry and kind of doubt themselves, you just want to be like, hey, it's okay. And the simplicity of that scene, I really enjoyed it, yeah.
well, the first season of Bridgerton created some controversy around sex scenes, and there's also sex scenes in this season, but they are kind of more subtle, more romantic also. Jonathan, how do you feel about that change in the range of sex scenes in this season?
Well, I think it's brilliant. I think it allows for us to tell the intimacy and the connection in a different way. And of course, every love story is completely different for every human, so it makes sense. But also with these two characters, it feels like there was a lot more in obstacles in the way. They're such a match for each other, and the psychological barriers that they have to overcome feels like more exposing than an actual literal nudity. They feel naked in front of each other because they understand something about each other, and what they see in the other person makes them smart, and that's where the hatred of the enemies to lovers trope comes from, I think, is because there's something very close that they don't want to look into. So it felt incredibly intimate, and the scenes where there's so much about just towing the line between what may or may not happen and then their sort of animalistic way of trying to work it out felt really, really intimate, and actually probably more intimate than any sort of literal sex scene that we ended up doing. We had to bear ourselves in a very different way this year, and I think that as an actor is thrilling.
Oh my! Are you hurt?
Come now, it is not proper to stare.